Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inspirations by Terry. I pray all is well and everyone is having a wonderful day. Today, I want to thank you, first of all, for stopping by my channel. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, and I hope that you are learning and hope that you are taking the word back to the scriptures and really studying to show yourself approved, that we need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And if you're new here, thank you for stopping by as well, and hope that you are that you learned something and that you would come back and subscribe and share the video. So today I want to speak to you about that there is safety in obedience. There is safety in obedience. And I'm just going to share with you just a couple examples of being safe, being by being obedient, where it benefits you as being a child, a believer of the Most High Yahuwah. And like I said before, you know, I used to believe that I was Gentile, but now I know that I am Hebrew. I am a tribe of Israel, one of the tribes of Israel, Judah. And there's things that have been instructed to us, commanded to us to do that we haven't been taught because we were taught that we were Gentiles. So there's a lot of things that we do in error, not because we do it on purpose, but because we don't know, or we didn't read, or we just don't know. So I wanted to share with you in Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verses 45. It says here, "For I am Yahuwah that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your Yah." Remember in maybe two videos prior, I spoke about how they went into Egypt as a family and came out a nation, the nation of Israel. So he said here that I am Yahuwah that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your Yah. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law that he gave to Israel of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference, he said. Yahuwah said, to make a difference between unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. This was given to Israel when they came out of Egypt. That is Leviticus 11:45 through 47. And now we're going to go over to Deuteronomy 14. It says here that ye are the children of Yahuwah. Ye shall not eat. Oh, I'm sorry. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people unto Yahuwah, and Yahuwah hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. Israel was chosen. There's nothing you can do about it when you're chosen, because you're chosen. The Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth, that thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois, and every beast that parteth the hoof, and cleaveth the cleft unto two claws. That means your feet has them that little cut in it. And cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Okay, so it has to be a clove foot and they have to chew the cud. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew not the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel and the hare and the coney, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you. And the swine, which is a pig, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales. Fins and scales. He said, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you. So if it divides the clove and it does not chew the cud, you can't eat it, and that's a pig. And my title is There is Safety in Obedience. How many people do you know that are Hebrew, aka black people, that eat the pig, that have high blood pressure, that have diabetes, that have all kind of ailments in their bodies from consuming pork and unclean things? Also, he said that we should be able to eat any fish in the water that has scales or fins. The ones that don't, we're not to eat them. This was instructed to us. We are Israel. I read to you where he said we're peculiar, chosen to be set apart as a different people. We are not the same as the other nations. Yah chose us to be set apart. He gave us specific instructions. He gave us specific guidelines, and we are to keep them. We are to follow them. A lot of them are for safety, because by not following them, it will lead us into destruction or into health issues or just different things. We are to obey. There is safety in obedience. And what is a fish that doesn't have that doesn't have scales or fins? Shrimp, crab, lobsters, clams, mussels, all those shellfish. We're not supposed to eat them, Israel. We are not supposed. They're unclean to us. They're detestable. The Bible says that they're detestable. I used to go crabbing. I used to have a cage, and we would go crabbing, and we would have lobster on the weekends, get shrimp, and have all kind of shrimp, baked, fried, just like all kind of shrimp. Crab cakes, all that stuff, mussels, clams, oysters. I ate those things. But when I found out that, I'm not to eat them, I was like, whoa, how am I I'm not going to stop eating shrimp. I can't do that. I love shrimp, especially fried shrimp. But because I love the Most High, I was obedient. I didn't want to give up my bacon. I loved bacon. I loved eating my bacon. Oh, are you kidding me? A BLT with some lettuce, tomatoes, and a lot of mayonnaise on some toast? Ah, yes. With some iced tea? Ah, yes. And can I tell you, to this day, every now and then I crave a piece of bacon, But I'm being obedient because I was instructed not to eat it. It was unclean to us. And why? I don't know why Yahuwah said it was unclean, but he said it was unclean. So I don't fight him or try to go and Google and search why not? Why can't I eat this? I'm going to fall into line. I'm going to be obedient. And then you'll have people who will come and say, well, in the New Testament, it says in Mark 7, 17 or 18, it says, Are you without understanding also? Do you perceive whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man is it cannot defile him? This is what people will come and say, well, you can eat whatever you want because it says here that it's not from what comes from without, right? He says, because it entereth not into his heart, but into his belly and goeth into the draught. So if you eat it, it goes into your belly and you can just pass it through. So you can eat whatever you want. And that's not what the scripture is saying at all. It's saying that and goeth out into the draught, purging all meats. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defiles a man. For that which is within the man, in the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, and an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. These are the things that come without. So he's using that as an example, that it's not what you consume because that goes into your belly, but what comes out of a man that defiles him, not what comes into him. Using that as an example, they'll use this scripture to try to say that we were not instructed to not eat unclean meats because the Bible instructed us. And he said to us in Leviticus, and he said to us in Deuteronomy and other places, what is unclean. He said in Leviticus 11:47, it's to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. And I just want to just say that there are so many health benefits that we as Hebrew people experience because of our what we eat. And even though we don't know all the reasons why, the Most High knows all the reasons why he instructed his people not to eat what is deemed unclean. And I just want to use for an example, if I may, me. All my adult life, I worked in the medical field all my life, from like 19 all the way to my 50s. That's all I ever did. And I worked with doctors, right? And I had the opportunity to learn a lot working with doctors, scheduling their surgeries, scheduling procedures, needing to know the diagnosis code, why this person needs to have this procedure done. And by being there, listening to their different conferences, being sometimes in attendance because I had to maybe take minutes or take notes or whatever, I learned a lot. No, I'm not a physician. No, I'm not a doctor, but being amongst them and for years and years and years, I learned a lot of things. And I worked for almost every type of specialty doctor that there is. I mean, I didn't work with all of them because I never worked with a pediatrician or a gynecologist, although I worked with alongside a physician assistant, which he is not an MD. He goes to school longer than an MD, but he can practice almost every specialty because he learns a little bit about everything. So he can do GYN exams on people, but he's a physician assistant. Okay. And working with him in that field, I learned a little bit about the GYN, right? So my point is, I worked with cardiologists, I worked with gastroenterologists, I worked with endocrinologists, I worked with the ear, nose, and throat physician, I worked with dermatologists, and just straight MDs, and I learned different things from each one of their specialties by, working in that field. And I know they did studies. I never knew that they did studies. I never knew that there was paid studies that was done by hospitals. And I always worked at universities. So that means that you had interns and you had fellows coming to learn, experiment on us, coming in for our doctor's exam, our doctor's appointments, experimenting on us, taking our information and doing studies to learn why this happens to this person and why this happens to that person. So I learned that there were studies. I learned that they gathered together 100 people and said, we're going to pay you this much money if you go and do what you're required to do. You have to follow instructions explicitly, or the case study is going to be null and void. So they'll get, and I'm just putting numbers out here because, I'm sure that their numbers were not what I'm saying. They're different numbers, but just say they will get 25 people from the Hebrew community, 25 people from the Hispanic community, 25 people from a white community, 25 people, whatever. But the numbers probably were larger. Okay. And everybody had to follow these specific rules of instructions. And at the end of the case study, they were paid, and they had to come in every 2 weeks for blood work to see how it was affecting their blood. They had to come in for vital signs, since, detected to take their blood pressure to make sure, to see what's elevated, not elevated, all these things, right? So at the end of the study, it was determined that this study affects Hebrew people in this way. It doesn't affect Caucasian people or European people in this way. Hispanics were kind of in the middle, or, it made a difference. My point is that it makes a difference. So the things that we consume, the things that we things that we eat, everything about us makes a difference, and everything about who we are makes a difference. We being Hebrew people makes a difference. We're different. We are not the same as other people. We are a special, chosen people, called to be holy unto Yahuwah himself. For another example, in dermatology, European people are prone to skin cancer, and Hebrew people are not. They can get it, but they're not prone to it because of our skin. Our skin, the layers of our skin are different than the Caucasian people. And there's different things that affects the Hebrew people, and there's different things that affects the Caucasian people. And this is the same for rheumatology. Like, if, I had people come in for injections because they had swelling in their knees and swelling, pain, arthritis here, there, and everywhere. And there are certain things that affected the Caucasian people that didn't affect the Hebrew people. And believe it or not, when I worked for a rheumatologist doctor, there was not that many black people there, because rheumatology, although it does affect Hebrew people, not like it affects Caucasian people. I mean, and if I go down all for cardiology, for gastroenterology, the different things that the people ate, how different people were plagued with, for gastro, how different people were plagued with lactose intolerance, and how they couldn't eat certain foods. It was different for the European, and it was different for the Hebrews, which I'm saying that there is a difference. So there is a reason why the Most High Yah said to us, don't eat this and don't eat that, because he knows how he made us. He knows our makeup. He created us. And we have to believe that if he said it, there's safety in us being obedient. Now, is that going to keep us from entering to the kingdom of heaven? I don't think so. I don't think if I eat a piece of pork, that might, that I won't be, he told us that we're not allowed to eat it. It's detestable to us. But do I think that's going to keep me from going to heaven? It may. But it's up to you, because the Bible tells us that we all shall stand and be judged based on what we have done in this life. In this life, we shall stand before the judgment seat of the Most High. And when we stand before the judgment seat, it's going to determine the rewards that we receive in the kingdom of heaven. I do believe, and be based on with the scriptures, that you're going to be rewarded for your obedience and your disobedience. You may make it into the kingdom, but you may just make it into the kingdom. But there might be somebody else in the kingdom who obeyed and followed diligently and hearkened to the voice of the Most High Yah, and they will be rulers in the kingdom, which versus a person who just maybe a doorkeeper, because they didn't hearken diligently, but they made it into the kingdom, So there is a reward for being obedient. There is safety in being obedient. There's safety and there's rewards. We talked about this in the video of the law, that if we just drive any old kind of way and get into car accidents and find ourselves without a limb or, broken leg, there's no safety in that. So by us being obedient, we come out on top because there's safety in being obedient. I'm going to share with you before I close, because my time always goes so fast. In First Kings, I think it's First Kings, chapter 13. It says here, and the king said unto the man of Yah, come home with me. Okay, yeah. Come home with me and refresh thyself, and I will give thee a reward. And the man of Yah said unto, no, I got to start over here. I got to start. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on one second. Okay, we're going to go there. It says, and the king said unto the man of Yah, come home with me and refresh thyself, and I will give thee a reward. And the man of Yah said unto the king, if thou wilt give me half thine house, I will not go in with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so was it charged me by the word of the Lord, saying, eat no bread, nor drink water, nor turn again in the same way that thou camest. So he went another way and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel. Now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his sons came and said unto him, said, all the works of the man of Yah had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken unto the king, them they told also to their father, that what the man of Yah had done that day in Bethel, all the words, all the things. And the father said unto them, what way went he? For his sons had seen that what way the man of Yah went, which came from Judah. And he said unto his sons, saddle me the ass. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon. And he went after the man of Yah, and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, art thou the man of Yah that camest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of Yahuwah, thou shalt eat no bread nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest. Right? That was his instructions. Do not eat any bread, do not drink no water, and don't go back the same way that you came. He was instructed. Okay? So he's minding his business under oak tree. The guest taking a break. Here comes the king looking for him. He said unto him, I am a prophet. This is what he's telling the man of Yah from Judah. I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spoke unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with thee unto thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. He was a liar. He wasn't a prophet. He was the king, and he lied unto him. So he went back with him. The man of God from Judah went back with him. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drank water. And it came to pass, as they sat at the table, that the word of the Most High Yah came unto the prophet that brought him back. And he cried unto the man of Yah that came from Judah, saying, thus saith the Lord Most High, forasmuch as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord Most High, and hast not kept the commandment which the Lord thy God commanded thee, but thou camest back and hast eaten bread and drank water in this place of which the Lord did say to thee, eat no bread and drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre of thy fathers. Because you disobeyed, you will not be able to be buried in the same place that your fathers are buried. It's like like he's being disinherited. Like he disobeyed. So I'm going to jump down to this verse 26, and it says, "And when the prophet that brought him back from the way heard thereof, he said, It is the man of Yah who was disobedient unto the word of the Lord. Therefore the Most High Yah hath delivered him unto the lion, which hath torn him and eaten him, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake unto him." And I'm going to stop there for time. He was disobedient. He believed a voice of someone else, even though the voice of the Most High God told him, don't do this, don't go there, don't eat, don't drink, and don't go back the same way you came. Here comes someone else saying he's a prophet, and you can come home with me. You can come eat what I told you to eat. You can come and drink what you want to drink, because I'm also a prophet. Well, somebody's a liar, because if the word of the Most High says, don't do this and don't do that, and then someone else comes and tells you that you can, whose report do you believe? Are you going to believe the word of the Most High? Or are you going to believe the person coming to you saying that they're a prophet and the angel of the Lord came to them? Who are you going to believe? My dear brothers and sisters, I want you to be aware the days and the times that we are living in, that if you do not know the word of Yahuwah for yourself, you will be deceived. You will believe that, oh yeah, this prophet said that I can do X, Y, and Z, when clearly the word of the Most High said, don't do this. Do not eat the swine. Do not eat anything that's in the water that doesn't have scales and fins. Crabs, lobsters, clams, mussels, everything they put into our neighborhoods until you can get it with EBT cards. So now here comes a Friday, you just got paid, and all you're doing is spending money on the detestable things that you're not supposed to eat anyway. Wake up. Don't be deceived. We are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, set apart unto Yahuwah to be that candle on a hill, the light in darkness. Why is everything so obscured and everything so blurred? Why does not the Christian, because we're not Christians, why does the believers of Yahuwah look like the world? Why do they act like the world? Why do they do the same things as the world? Because you are not being set apart as you were told to be. And you are not keeping the laws, the commandments, and his statutes that never change. And we're blending in and we're compromising the word of the Most High Yah, which cannot be compromised. His word is truth. He said, let my word be true and every man a lie. If you're going to believe, and if you do believe, you got to go all the way. Don't go part way. When we were out here in the world sinning, we was all in. Our weekend started on Wednesday night, Thursday night, some of us. And we partied all the way to Sunday because that was what we did. If we are believers and we're going hard for Yahuwah, go all in. Don't stop. Don't wait until your fellowship day. Every day of the week, go in hard. You were called for such a time as this to be set apart. You're chosen. Be that good example. Be obedient, because there's safety in obedience. There is safety in obedience. I love you with the love of Yeshua. Be blessed. And until the next video, we'll see you then. Remember to share this with someone else and to like, subscribe. Okay? God bless. Yah bless. Bye.